The hidden struggle of postpartum depression is something that affects countless individuals, especially new moms. It's a condition that often goes unnoticed and it can be incredibly challenging to overcome. I wanted to open up about my personal experience with postpartum depression because I, for a fact, know that it's not easy to talk about the way that we feel sometimes, especially when it comes to things like this. But I believe that through sharing our experiences, sometimes it can really make a difference in someone else's life. And I'm hoping that by sharing my story today, it can help somebody else feel less alone. So before we get into all the tips that would have helped me when I was going through this season of my life, I just want to explain what postpartum depression is in case you have anybody here that's watching that is not sure. So postpartum depression is a long-lasting form of depression. So some moms have baby blues after having their kids. Baby blues is like more of a short-term kind of thing. They feel emotional, they feel sad, but it's not really permanent. Postpartum depression, on the other hand, is like a long-lasting form of depression. It feels like it's just growing and growing and growing, and it gets worse and worse and worse as time goes on if you don't take the necessary steps to get better. It can cause emotional exhaustion, sadness, anxiety. It causes some moms to feel detached from their kids. It causes some moms to feel like a lack of connection with the people around them, with their kids. It causes them to lose interest in activities that they once used to enjoy. So if you are watching this video, if you are a mom and you are experiencing these symptoms, even if it's not postpartum depression and you are experiencing symptoms like this, please remember that it's not your fault, and the first courageous step that you will ever take is reaching out to somebody and asking for help. You definitely do not have to suffer in silence. Before we even get into my story, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge the strength and resilience that all mothers possess, because bringing a new life into this world is such a beautiful thing. Like, I'm not gonna lie, having kids is such a beautiful thing, but it can also be emotionally draining and overwhelming at the same time. And I think that's where postpartum depression really kicks in and affects women after childbirth. I want to say this is a testimony, more a testimony than a story. So basically, some months after having my kids, like, everything was fine, I was fine, everything was fine. Like, I was mentally okay. I was fine, things were fine. I had like, I'm not gonna lie, I had all the support, I had everything that I needed after having my kids. And it's like just over a period of time, like, I just started to be sad all the time. It's like I was angry all the time. I was crying, basically every day I would be like crying. And the thing is, like, I never knew what I would be. I never understood it. I didn't know what I was sad about. I just couldn't. And the thing is, I couldn't explain it to anybody. Like, if you would ask the people that are closest to me if I was struggling with postpartum depression, they would absolutely tell you that I was not, because I was just masking it so well, because I didn't want to open up. I didn't want to be vulnerable. I didn't know how to explain what I didn't even understand, or what I was feeling, to other people, because of the fear of being judged by other people, right? Even though it was not even like that, but in my mind at the point in time, it was like that. I would go weeks and weeks and weeks, like, barely getting any sleep, because it's like my mind would just be going like 100 miles per hour. Like, my thoughts would just be like going 100 miles per hour, and it was just like a feeling of helplessness. It's like I just used to feel exhausted to wake up every day and feel the same way that I am feeling, and I feel like when you're in the midst of something like that, it's hard for you to see the light at the end of the tunnel, because when you're in the situation, you'll feel like, boy, would I ever feel like myself again? Would I ever be genuinely happy? Because I am naturally a joyous person. I'm very jolly. Like, I think yes, I'm human, things would make me sad and these sorts of things, but to the fact that I would say like I depressed, it was not like that. So basically, it was my husband who actually brought it to my attention. He was like, I think like you're going through depression, because he would have been the one to really have the forefront of like how I was feeling, or the way that I was. And the thing is, like, I just want to say this, like, it never affected the bond that I have with my kids. I was still like I was still bonding with my kids and everything, but it just had everything to do with me. And I know for some people, that's why I'm saying this is my story, because I know for some people they have a lack of bond with their kids and they have that symptom as well. But for me, it really wasn't like that. It was more like it was just me. It was just to do with me. Like I was just all over the place at that point in my life. So I was still showing up, I was still doing what I had to do, I was still being a mom, I was still doing everything that I had to do, but I still feel like because I wasn't my best mentally, I feel like I wasn't showing up as the best that I could be for them, if that making sense, you know what I mean? So it wasn't until my husband actually brought it up that I actually started researching about postpartum depression, and I actually realized like I do have symptoms of postpartum depression. And I just want to talk about some tips that really helped me on my path to healing. I really think that my journey to healing was longer than it should have been, but you know, everything happens the way it's supposed to. But I think that if I would have reached out, or if I would have accepted the fact that I was feeling how I was feeling and was opening up about it, I think like it would have been easier. But at the end of the day, I'm still proud of myself that I took the necessary steps to get better and to feel like myself again. Now that I've opened up about my story, I just want to share some tips that really helped me on my path to healing. Please remember, I am not a medical professional. I am just sharing some things that really helped me and really worked for me, and I really hope that it can do the same thing for you. Okay, so my first tip would be to learn from my mistakes, okay? Reach out for support. There's so much strength in community. Like sometimes we need to set realistic expectations with ourselves. We can't be a super mom all the time. It's okay to reach out to our family, to reach out to our loved ones, to ask for help, you know. Just somebody being there or lending a listening ear can make such a difference. There's a lot of strength in being surrounded by people that is speaking love and light into your life, especially when you're in the midst of something like that. Being alone with your thoughts is not going to help you at all. You need somebody to come and to speak love and light into you. And I think like you should definitely reach out to family and friends, even join support groups that's tailored for moms who are experiencing postpartum depression, because sharing your experiences with somebody who actually going through the same thing can make such a difference. So I would definitely recommend surrounding yourself with people who empower you, people who love you, people who would speak that love and light into your life, people who would just be there to let the mighty up. At the end of the day, not everybody gonna know what it is to say in such a situation, but just them showing up could make all the difference. Please do not allow yourself to suffer in silence and reach out for help. So the second tip is going to be to engage in self-care. First and foremost, remember to prioritize yourself. That needs to be a non-negotiable in your life. Prioritize yourself. It's so easy to get caught up in the demands of motherhood, but at the end of the day, your physical and mental well-being is of utmost importance. You should definitely engage in activities that bring you joy. Start a new hobby that you've always wanted to do, whether it's just doing your makeup, going on a solo date. That's things that I really practice. Like I really started to do things, get out of the house, do things that I probably never do before, go out by myself. Like that's things that I would have done. So my third tip would be to reach out for professional support. So going to therapy. Now I know, like especially in the Caribbean, like it's such a taboo thing to go to therapy or whatever the case is, but babes, you have to do what you have to do for you. It shouldn't even be about anybody else. Like when you're doing these things, it can't be about what other people would think. You need to do what you need to do to get better, to be the best mom that you can be. So I'll definitely recommend going to therapy. I feel like if my depression would have lingered on, or if it was worse than it was, I definitely would have started therapy, because I feel like seeking professional help is such a crucial step when dealing with postpartum depression. So I would definitely recommend scheduling an appointment with a therapist, your OBGYN, or somebody who specializes in maternal mental health, because they would be the ones to offer you the guidance, the support even prescribe your medication if needed when you are going through that. Remember that it takes strength to ask for help. There is no shame in the game. You have to do what you have to do, as I just said. My fourth tip is going to be having a healthy lifestyle. I would definitely recommend incorporating exercise into your daily routine, because I feel like going to the gym for me is such a like relief moment. Like just going to the gym, just moving my body was such a de-stressor for me. Also having a balanced diet and having a sleep routine, you know, as I say, if you really do need to get something to even try to help you to sleep, like talk to your doctor, get something that is safe and that would work and wouldn't affect you. I feel like these factors can really have a positive impact on your mental well-being when it comes to managing postpartum depression. So feel free to journal your thoughts, to just go on a walk, even if it's in the morning or in the evening. Just take some time to move your body, because these things can just help you to be present. Just exercising generally can help alleviate anxiety and bring a sense of calm. My last tip is a tip that has tremendously made all the difference on my journey, and that was embracing my faith. So me praying, me reading my Bible, me going to church. I even did a fast during that time, and that was the first time I ever did a fast in my life, to be honest. But that, like, really seeking solace in God, seeking solace in his promises, seeking solace in reading his word, like speaking the promises of God over my life. I feel like that made a tremendous difference, because, you know, like at times I'll be praying and I like, you know, God, I really can't feel this way any longer. Like I really don't want to feel this way. And I feel like really praying and really speaking the promises of God over my life really made such a huge impact. Like I can't not make this video and not talk about that aspect of it, because it was the most important aspect for me. But as I say, for somebody else that might not be the case. I feel like there is immense power in praying, there's immense power in seeking God, you know, and I would definitely recommend that to anybody. Like, you know, I feel like it could be in your, sometimes, you know, we in the midst of trials, in the midst of situations, in the midst of tribulations, like we go through things. And I think I see this sometime before in the video, like, you know, we feel like in the midst of something, it's like, would I ever get out of this situation? Would I ever feel the way that I want to feel? Would I ever be this, that, and the other? But you could be in the deepest, darkest pit. You could be in the deepest, darkest pit, and God will come right in there and snatch you up. So anything is possible through the power of prayer. So I would definitely recommend finding solace in God, in praying, in reading your Bible, and yeah, having faith could give you an invaluable source of strength. I really feel like that aspect, like this tip, really have changed my life even beyond me getting better from depression, because I feel like now I can walk boldly in who I am. I can walk boldly in the promises of God, because if God could bring me through depression, baby, God could bring me through anything. So I really feel like even now, even if situations happen and I do get sad, and I would cry if something really sad happens, but to the point where I would allow it to affect me really badly, I don't think like it's like that anymore. So to all the moms there all the moms, if you happen to see this video and you are navigating through this storm of postpartum depression, please know that you are definitely not alone. It does get better. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and I know that in this situation you're gonna feel like it's never ending, it's overwhelming, it's evolving, it's growing, but you know, it's okay to cry, it's okay to feel sad, it's okay to allow yourself to feel the way that you want to feel, but don't make depression your identity. Trust me, I know, like I personally, like I know for a fact it's easier said than done, but you know, healing is something that it feels like it's the hardest thing in the world to do, but it's definitely not impossible. Like, it's not impossible. Just remember, in the midst of all this, in the midst of this season of your life, that you are strong, you are a warrior, you are capable of all the love, all the happiness, all the compassion that there is to offer. Even though like it was one of the worst seasons of my life thus far, I feel like God has really transformed my entire life through that experience. I wouldn't have learned the things that I've learned. I wouldn't have grown the way that I have grown. And sometimes we do have to go through the depths. We do have to go through the waters. We do have to go through the darkness just to really appreciate the light and the joy that follows after. You are definitely not defined by your postpartum depression. It's not who you are, but by the love and the joy and the strength that resides within you. Every child deserves a happy and mentally healthy mother. So please prioritize yourself. Take the necessary steps that you need to take for your well-being. Healing is definitely a journey, and just me sitting here, for somebody, like, it might just be more than me just sitting here telling you this. It might take more than that, but with the right steps, with the right strategies, with the right support system, it is possible. It is possible to overcome, and you are definitely gonna overcome this and emerge. I truly believe that you are gonna overcome this and emerge stronger than ever. If you found this story resonated with you, if this was useful to you in any way, if you know somebody who is struggling with this at the point in time when you would have seen this video, please feel free to share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. Leave some words of encouragement for somebody who might need this, who is going through this at this point in their life. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in another one. Bye guys.